Chuck when he attacked Sean Merriman when he was talking to you on Radio Row.
Oh, yeah, in the back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Chuck came to do
Those are big bodies.
Oh, yeah.
Those are some big bodies.
We're running the headset.
So this is the longest running UFC show in the country.
Congrats.
You know, I mean, we're going to talk everything, but just so you know.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Three, two, one. And we are back. This is Media Row coming to you live from Super Bowl 57. And we have the one,
I never get excited.
the only,
I'm excited.
Pat McAfee here in studio. It's unbelievable to have you on the show.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. Longest running UFC podcast in the
Radio
United
show.
States.
Radio show.
Real FCC back.
Yeah.
Real
Let's
deal.
go, boys.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we've been doing this a long time, long before anybody else kind of jumped onto the train.
Exactly.
Before UFC sold for multiple billions, back whenever it was just guys and geese with no weight classes. Buddy, is that when we started?
Yeah,
I started covering the UFC at UFC 1.
Holy hell, yeah, that's the time.
UFC 11 with Mark Coleman was the first one I attended to cover as media.
So I'm assuming you guys have gotten a thank you from the UFC for your commitment and coverage?
better. Dana White calls him the OG of the UFC because back when
Let's
they
go,
covered
dude.
it, there was
He
only-
hates everybody that covers
There
it.
was only like
Not
2
you.
He's the guy. He's the OG. He's the OG. He
That's
didn't even know what it
amazing,
meant. That's how old he is. He didn't know what
So
OG is.
you were just a mixed martial arts fan, or did you see the sport and say, you know what, this is going to be a sport that I love for the rest of my life?
I was friends with Ken Shamrock, and so Ken
The
is
world's most dangerous
Yeah.
man.
exactly, yeah, right up your alley. You know, with WWE,
Oh, yeah.
WWF. You know, and he called, and we started, you know, hanging out, and I loved the sport. And what I loved about the sport more back then than now, it was just different. You know, it was sportsmanship. It was you and I are going to fight. We may dislike each other, and then we're cool after. Now it's kind of drifted a little into your world or one of your numerous worlds.
Yeah, boxing, like more of a promo game
Exactly.
as opposed to the respect of the arts game.
Exactly.
Got it. It's
Now-
business.
And yeah, it's business. And with that said, Tito's a very good friend of mine. I love Tito's gimmick. I'm not a big Connor gimmick guy. You know, so it's kind of weird.
He's back.
Yeah, he's kind of
He's coming up.
What do you think? You think he's going to be focused on? I think so too. I'm a guy that believes I think numerous things can be true. I think it's tough to be a guy who's going to wake up and want to go get punched in the face when you have a gun.
A Lamborghini.
Absolutely.
I think that is a tough thing to do.
Absolutely.
But because of how talented he is, he got to the point in which he could get a gun. So that talent, I still think, weighs a little bit. So I think if he's fully focused on something, he's going to be great at it. Like, I think he's just that type of human. Roadhouse, I bet you he's great at it. I bet you in that movie, he's incredible. Whenever he gets into boxing, I think he was going to be a good boxer. Like, you know what? If Connor's focusing on it, I think he has the trait in which if he focuses on something, he's great at something. He's not going to sign up to suck. I think that's Conor McGregor. I think it's the thing. So he goes, 11 rounds, and Floyd, everybody thought he'd die out about 5. He won 9.
No, but I'm saying, you know, Floyd carried him. Floyd didn't. You know,
Yeah, but he didn't die. All
No.
the boxing experts are
Yeah.
like, the cardio, he's not going to be able to make it. He's going to die off or
Right,
whatever.
right.
He made it like 10 rounds.
Sure.
Now, granted, he had to woo back to his corner, and he was winded and everything like that. But I thought he put on a much better performance than anybody gave him credit for. Now, obviously, that fight gives him a bunch of money. He's in the same role. But I'm, like, super excited he's back. I enjoy characters, and I think he's a character that if he focuses on something, he's going to try to kill it. And Chandler is the perfect person for him to kind of spar with. I'm excited. I don't know the game as well as you, but I think it's a perfect fight, isn't it?
I think it is a perfect fight for him. I don't think it necessarily should have been the fight.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, Poirier just beat him. You know, so I mean, if you're doing numbers and you're doing, you know, but Chandler is hard and tough.
And an electrifying fighter.
Right.
Will eat punches.
Yes.
Chandler will eat punches. Chandler's a heel?
Yeah.
Is he? I thought he was babyface.
No, not at all. No. Poirier's the babyface. Yeah, no, he's
Oh, I
he's a
didn't
heel.
know that.
Yeah, you know, he bit a finger. He did some things in the last fight. Yeah.
I did not know the Chandler turned heel.
How does a finger just fall into somebody's mouth?
A lot of people have been asking that question a long time about other things like the penis and the vagina.
Or like an ear.
Or an ear in the mouth. Yeah, there's a lot of those. How do things just fall into these things?
Right.
But you're right. That's a great question. There had to be some sort of intent. I did not know Chandler was heel. They're in the house.
Well, they necessarily won't be in the house. They'll come in and see the guys, and then they leave. You know, they go to the.
What's that, like 20-some seasons?
It's morning. It's morning.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
This is a good one, though. This is one you're pumped about.
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
You're not pumped.
No.
Oh,
I'm,
no, you've been doing this too long.
No.
I'm jaded.
I'm pumped with anything Connor does. I mean, Connor is that guy that will get you pumped.
Box office.
Well, no, I want to see who's in there. I want to see who's in the house. I want to see the talent that's in the house. To me, it's about the show. It's not necessarily about Connor, and Chandler. It's about the talent. Yeah, I go back to the original one: Stephen Bonner, Forrest Griffin. The house, the original guys.
You were a fighter?
No, okay.
Good beard there.
No, thank you. Thank you.
problem.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
But speaking about Logan Paul and box office, what about Logan Paul coming over to WWE?
How do you feel about it? You hate him?
I love him.
Me too.
I love him.
I'm happy you love him.
Oh no, I love.
Now there's like an NFT thing going on. We're not talking about all that.
No.
Stuff,
No,
I'm not just I'm the top.
I'm talking what he just did.
Bro,
Killing it.
I am like the Paul brothers. Obviously polarizing figures.
Absolutely.
Those dudes have blazed a trail that nobody will be able to emulate, but everybody will attempt to.
And Rick.
Yeah, and absolutely, and tear it up. Like him boxing, him in this Fury fight should be a real one, right?
It should be.
It should be a real one.
And I asked somebody, I don't remember who it was this week, if he wins, if he beats Fury, now can people say he's legitimate?
Well, and even if he loses, I think he'll prove he's legitimate because he'll get right back in it. Physically, he loves it. And he's fallen in love with everything about it. So I'm a massive fan of Logan Paul. Has been able to accomplish it with WWE? It's like stupid. He gets in there with no fear, crushes it every time, and obviously he's an entrepreneur, so I got mad respect.
What he did at the Royal Rumble was shocking.
That springboard crossbody?
Exactly.
With Ricochet?
Ricochet.
Bananas.
Yeah.
Absolutely bananas. And he does that every single time he has an opportunity to. Like, anytime he has a moment, he kills it. So I think that should be respected by everyone.
Didn't he take a selfie when he landed on top of Roman
Frog
Reigns?
splash, yeah. From the top rope to the commentator's table. Long leap. That is not a short we saw here. That takes real effort to get there. Not everybody can do it. And then have the wherewithal to have the selfie perfectly on. I mean, it's amazing. Right. He's an incredible athlete, and I'm happy he's getting this.
To show you how small the world is, that's mentor is Terry Bollea.
Oh, there we go.
One of my closest friends was Randy Poffin.
There we go, Mocho.
And then we kind of come together, and it's like two worlds coming together.
Hoffa family, big and down in Kentucky and the rest of them, obviously Florida. Where are you guys based on?
Tampa. We got Dusty Rhodes, the whole old school wrestling.
How about that guitar lick?
Yeah.
Hulk had to look like the coolest person of all time. He had to feel like the coolest person of all time and look like the coolest person of all time. When they strapped that black and white footage on him when he was at NWO, and that song's playing in the back, he's playing this thing. What a life that guy.
Oh, Jimi Hendrix.
And he owes everything to Dusty Rhodes, as I'm sure you know. Dusty found him in a bar in Tampa playing the guitar. And he's like, look at this guy.
And obviously Dusty Rhodes' son,
yes.
Cody,
yes.
about to do what Cody's about to do right now for winning the Royal Rumble.
Amazing.
It's a great time to be in the wrestling business, and the stories are amazing.
When you ran down, it was just crazy. It was so much fun to watch you do that.
At the Rumble?
Yeah.
My plane landed 27 minutes before that. So I was literally like, am I going to make it in time for this? Michael Cole did not know I was there. Corey Graves did not know I was there. A lot of people had no idea. So I had not seen the stadium. So I went through one curtain that was not the curtain. So I almost missed it was a full thing.
Right.
It was amazing. I was very thankful for the WWE Universe for being really cool. And what a show. The rest of the night, 51,388 people in there. The place was packed.
It's my favorite event. The Royal Rumble is without a doubt the best event. I just love it. You hear the countdown and you don't know who's coming. I'm curious, what's the difference between when you walked around as an NFL player and fans coming up and chasing you down and whatever, and now you're walking around as everything that you are now, the media guy, and probably more fans, because now you have media chasing you and you have fans chasing you. Talk about that experience.
Yeah, it's a much different life. In Indianapolis, I was pretty popular. So I was like kind of a local celebrity when I was playing because of the public intoxication. So whenever I got a public intoxication in my second year, they put my mugshot up on TV like, I don't know, maybe 4,000 times in 1 week. And the people of Indiana were like, this is our guy. Because I got a public intoxication in a part of town where everybody parties in. So I was like 23 years old, or 22 years old. Yes, thank you. I was 23 years old. I get a public intoxication in Broad Ripple. A lot of people had no idea I was even on the team. And then the first introduction to me was like, oh, this guy's partying where we party at. So I became a little bit of a local celebrity in Indiana whenever I was playing, but outside of Indiana, nobody had a clue who I was. I was big on the internet. I did a lot of tweeting, but internet to reality, it's not a similar comparison like in your day-to-day life, people saying hello. And then once the YouTube show started and I fully committed to it, it's like I'm a homebody. I go to work and I go home. I go to work, I go home. And then COVID happens, everybody's stuck at home. And then after COVID, I work, I go home, I work, I go home. And then I get in public and it's like, oh, there's people that know us in like California and like New Mexico and Texas.
India and China.
It's crazy. It's like a very crazy thing that has kind of happened very quickly. And obviously very lucky for it. But yeah, it's a whole new world. It's a much different world. But I got to experience it in Indianapolis, I think, on like a smaller scale where like everything I'm doing, people are watching. Any store I go to, there's people taking pictures of me. That had been happening in Indianapolis for like 10 years. Now it's just kind of broadened a little bit. So I'm very thankful, very lucky. But it is a little bit of like, oh, damn. Like, can't really live as much as maybe I used to be.
We are talking to Pat McAfee, and let me ask you this. I've covered the Tampa Bay Buccaneers since day one as well. Just, again, it means I'm very old. Special teams, kickers, they don't get the respect. Is this helping the special teams and the kickers get some respect?
I don't know. I was just talking to somebody over there. They asked the same question. Who's been doing it a long time. I feel like you, for doing this a long time, gave no respect to kickers and punters. And that guy who asked me about it gave no respect to kickers and punters.
He has ultimate respect for Martin Gramatica.
Hey, I'm tight with Martin, Mark Royals.
All right, so I'm lumping you in broad brush painting.
Yeah, you don't do that.
A lot of media people had no idea what was going on in the kicking game and the punting game.
Right.
So, and I think like a lot of players, because players talk a lot of shit amongst each other anyways. So when you're the kicker and punter, like obviously offensive linemen are going to talk shit to you, you know? So I think a lot of media people are like, oh, offensive linemen say this about kickers and punters. We're allowed to say this about kickers and punters. So that just kind of became a thing in the media world. It's like kicking and punting is easy, it's a joke, and the only time we should talk to them is when they make a mistake. So as I was retiring, I did think there was a pretty massive hole in the market where like special teams has a lot going on. Like, there's a lot of things happening very quickly that matter very much to the importance of the game, which is why every single building, their first meeting every day is a special teams meeting. The first period of every practice is a special teams practice. Everybody on the team is a part of special teams. So like I think the media who didn't know that was a bit out of touch with that, and I saw it as a massive advantage getting into the media world. And I think it's been a nice little niche, and also the talent at kicker and punter right now in the NFL is better than it's ever been. So it's a good time. I think it's a good time to be a kicker punter.
I hosted the Mark Royal show. So I've hosted Martin Gramatica, Josh Bidwell. I mean, so yeah, I've been tight with special teams and kickers.
So you know the deal.
Oh yeah, I know how you guys have been treated.
When it comes to importance to a team, very low, very low. When it comes to difficulty of position comparing to other positions, very low. Okay, very, very low. Tough task. Not a lot of people can kick and punt successfully. But when it comes to everything else, obviously a lot less physical. But a lot of these media folks, they run their mouth. I would beat you at every sport 2 times, 3 times maybe. What you played in high school, I'm better than you are at.
Yeah.
Like that's how a lot of kickers and punters view a lot of the media people. So me getting a microphone and a platform to do that has been pretty real. Like that has been a good time for me.
So a story that you may be aware of, you may not. Martin Gramatica, his rookie year, missed bringing the food for the plane on Saturday. And you know what happens. You get kicked out, you get all sorts of things. So, rumor has it.
Rumor has it.
So they go to take Martin Gramatica outside and tie him up and tape him up to the goalpost. Warren Sapp comes running out and says, you don't touch our offense. That's our entire offense. Leave Martin alone.
Now, Martin Gramatica obviously went on to have great success, and he's obviously a much different human than I am. But I got massive respect, and I'm happy to hear that from Warren Sapp, obviously Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time. And whenever you have that type of buy-in, like I always got along with all my teammates. College, NFL. I didn't come from the football world, though. I played soccer growing up. I was a fan of football because I'm from Pittsburgh. So like I was an NFL fan. But I never understood why people say what you're saying about kickers.
Because they hear it from somebody else and they just run with it because they don't really know.
Yeah, I think so. But I've always had great interactions. Some of my best friends are the biggest dogs in the game.
So, Pat, so speaking of kickers, my best friend in college in Indianapolis, I grew up in Indiana. His son Seth is a high school kicker, and he turned me on to you. He told me about you years ago in Indianapolis. Like, man, Pat was killing it.
My man, Seth.
Seth Hefty, Ryan Hefty, the whole Hefty family. They are the reason that I even knew who you were 10 years ago.
Shout out to the Hefty family, guerrilla
they're
marketing.
kicking
That's
right
on
now,
the
high school. This kid's a stud. Wait till you see what this kid does in the next level.
I'm happy for him. Good luck out there, Seth. And there's going to be days, if I was to talk to a younger kicker, there's going to be days you're going to be terrible. Like, there's days where I would go and kick a ball, and it was like, nobody should pay me ever to do this. Where you're just, for whatever reason, not hitting the ball well. And when I was in college and when I was kicking late in high school, I just assumed the pros were always good. And I think there's a lot of people that have bad days and they think they suck, so they quit. And it's like, you're going to have bad days for the rest of your life kicking. Just keep going, keep working. And what you do, it does not matter what somebody else does. Like, if somebody else's technique is their technique, that does not mean you got to do what they do. Like, find your own swing, keep going, and you're going to suck. And that's just, I think, is like information that I go back and tell me when I was in high school starting to kick.
As you continue blowing up, and everybody, my son is so excited that you're on the show.
Tell my son what's up.
You know, he didn't care about anything else. He's at work. He's like, what? Who's coming on? Who is somebody that you are looking forward to? Somebody that you haven't had on your program yet? That's that guy.
Interesting. I don't know. Goodell.
No.
I'd like to talk to Goodell. I think that'd be a fun conversation. I wish Steve Jobs was still alive. I wish I could talk to him. So instead, I guess Elon Musk. I like talking to interesting people. I like fascinating conversations.
What about the naked pizza man?
Bingo. You know, I'm talking about the naked pizza man. I'm sure
So I invented the pizza diet. I became a professional bodybuilder eating it. And I would love to come on the show and talk about macros.
There's no way.
True story. And I would love to help guys our age hit fitness goals at this stage.
You're eating pizza?
Only pizza. Food pizza. That's it. I'm the real deal, baby. So when you run a run,
No, this is that cheap cardboard pizza taste trap.
real deal. I cauliflower crust.
I'll tell you the truth. All right, we fight all the time. What did I just trademark?
Yeah, because I do keto.
Hostile radio.
We just started Hostile Radio because we fight all the time. I hate saying good things about them because there's not a lot of good things to say about them.
I disagree. It's a good looking.
But well, I'm not touching that. But he does make one of the top 2 pizzas I've ever eaten.
Cauliflower pizza.
Cauliflower, flaxen millet, grain-free, gluten-free, fully low carb.
You do any of the hormone replacement?
No, so I'm doing it with sauna and ice water therapy to spike my human growth hormone 16 times normal production with water.
God,
regulation.
you're one of those guys who are awesome.
That's it.
You're
That's it.
awesome.
All natural. 46.
Could you imagine being like
46.
that?
No.
You look amazing.
That's what I'm doing.
I wish I had that trait.
GQ Magazine Elite Athlete 2016. I'm the real deal, and I want to help
Let's
your
go,
followers,
dude. We need it.
men, husbands, entrepreneurs who don't have enough time.
Yeah, but the mentality
Well,
is something
educate
you
them.
have, not everybody has.
I'll teach them.
AJ Hawk has this mentality.
Yes, he does.
AJ Hawk has to wake up in the morning and beat the hell out of himself.
Yeah.
Like, first thing he does in the morning, cardio, he's beating the hell out of himself. Can't go about the rest of his day. I wish I had that.
I have the
I don't
tools.
have that. I'll wake up, I will hit the snooze button.
We have the tools.
I will nap and I will go right to work. I'll miss a workout.
I endorse a gym, and in the commercial it says I drive by it twice a day.
That's what I'm saying. You have something special. You need to know that. You're not just like everybody else.
If you should believe your guy, like he came here, like we're all connected, man, through Tampa Bay, through the offensive line, through Alpha Kappa. We're all connected. I want to help you, help your listeners be the
Man.
best version they can be of themselves.
If you figured out a way for me to be consistently healthy, I would be
you got?
I would be a massively grateful person.
I have a vertical gym. I can bring it to you. You tell me when.
A
I'll
vertical
drive
gym,
It.
what does that mean?
It takes away your balance and equilibrium, access your sympathetic nervous system, to stretch your vertebrae, decompress your spine, and to give you neurological stimulation to all motor muscles. All 603 of them. And it's all natural. You combine that with the water
Am I getting a
therapy.
six-pack or what? This is Hostile Radio. Sounds like I'm getting better. What you doing? What do you find this guy for?
Well, I fight him all the time, and I think it's a gimmick. It works. I still think it's a gimmick. But if you say you'll come on it, I'll come with him and drive from Tampa so that you can.
What's
try
your
it out.
what's your social?
Yeah.
Social media. What's your social media?
Pizza
This is
underscore
live radio. Let's go.
Pizza underscore.
industry underscore spokesman. Sponsored by 8 Man Salon.
That's a lot of pressures. Pizza industry spokesman.
Who do you like on Sunday?
I like the Chiefs. I don't love it. I'm very flustered by it all. Like the Eagles, 70% of the money's on them.
Right.
A lot of people just think, and if you look at the Eagles roster, it's like, yeah, the Eagles should. But I'm like, God, that's why I'm going the other way. Because I'm fading myself at this point, which is not good. But like they have Patrick Mahomes, they have Andy Reid, they have Travis Kelce, they have Clark and Jones on the defense side of the ball. It's like they're listening to what everybody's saying about it too.
Right.
That's why I like it. I haven't found you. I don't think you're a real human.
Pizza
Industry underscore
spokesman.
What's your thoughts on the return of Jon Jones?
That's 41 years old eating pizza, baby. That's the real deal.
That's gotta feel good.
It's all science.
You look at that?
Oh yeah,
But
all the time.
I'm gonna beat this when I do celebrity boxing. I'm gonna beat this physique if I may. I'm doing better shape.
You're boxing a man? What are you boxing?
This is true. All right, I'm going to help promote it through celebrity boxing, Damon Feldman, and I'm taking the other side. I'm going to bring I'm going to bring somebody in to beat him.
Pizza underscore industry.
TRY.
Matt's back on his knee.
Yeah.
This is good radio.
Underscore
Yeah, I know. Great radio.
spokesman. This is good. Nothing.
Oh, that's awesome. You got booted off.
Is that Instagram? What is that? All right, let me get off Twitter.
Oh, Twitter. Yeah, I don't need Twitter.
All right,
I'm not a Twitter guy.
I'll
Let's-
find you.
let's go with
Pizza
dummy
industry
radio.
Spokesman. I will find you. All right.
We appreciate your time.
I love Jon
Thank you very
Jones.
much.
I was in Baltimore when he fought, toyed with a guy.
Well, I was almost everybody.
Baltimore. He did the Ray Lewis entrance. It was awesome. I was there, got a chance to be a part of the after party with him. And Jimmy's Famous.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I do a
What
lot
you
of
got?
stuff with it.
What's
I
your
do
boy?
stuff with Jimmy. Everybody does.
I love him.
Yeah, that food's awesome.
Yeah,
Carrot cakes are off the chart.
food's unbelievable. Ownership, assholes. Me, the worst people. No, they're awesome. They're incredible. I love everything about them. But the after party was there, and you see Jon Jones, you're like, oh, this is the most talented guy. Like, he's bigger, stronger, faster, more talented than everybody. And then since that moment to now, so much has happened. I was so pumped because I was like, oh, I'm at this guy's after party. I know his brother. His brother's on my team. I got to meet him. We had a great night. I'm like, hey, he's the best in the world. Here we go. And then for one reason or another, it seemed like every single time we were going to go transcend sports and become the guy. Boom, something happened. Boom, something happened. Boom, something happened. It's been a long time since that day.
Yeah.
So, like, I hope that there's still enough for the world to get to see, because I think he was special, man. I enjoyed everything about watching him, and hopefully he can do right and go take over. And I think that's what we're all hoping.
You know, for sure. And I'm a little worried. I think he's the GOAT, but his last couple of fights, I thought he lost to Dominic Reyes. He's had some close fights that have been, and I'm a licensed judge, you know, and you know, they're iffy. So I'm a little concerned about that as well.
Wow, it's like talking to judges. I mean, that's a problem. You know,
Yeah.
it's the oldest
Yeah.
podcast in UFC history.
Live radio show. FCC radio show.
FCC back.
And, you know, and I always say this thing about
Aren't the
podcasts.
judges the problem?
They're part of it, yeah.
Right? Like, everybody in the sport says that we got to fix the judging because it's boxing judging, right? And then they just get dropped into MMA.
No, there's some MMA people, but the problem is there's so many things, there's so many criteria. So you may think ground game is the most important, right? And this guy might think the stand-up striking is the most important. So what's more important, that he threw 3, uppercuts, or that you took him down and attempted a submission?
Yeah, you rarely hear that.
So what judge is going to do what? Now,
because the judge that likes the takedown is probably going to act as if they like the sport more than you do, too. If you tell them, hey, you got this wrong, they're like, you don't understand
exactly
the sport.
Exactly.
Oh, so it's never going to be fixed.
There's really no way. I mean, there's truly no way. In boxing, all you're doing is trying to knock the guy down, trying to knock the guy out.
Body, head.
Right. You know, and damage. But in MMA, if I take you down and attempt for 3 minutes to submit you, and you fight it off for 3 minutes, who gets the nod then?
Yeah, because I clearly dominated you. Even though
and you didn't get anything out
but
of it.
no, like optical damage. So it's
right. My defense kept you from submitting me.
Oh,
for
so it's
3
not
minutes.
fixable, is what you're saying.
I don't know how it can be.
You'd be the guy.
Yeah, I truly don't know. You know, and I say that if I'm going to watch a fight as a fan, I stop looking for about 20 seconds. Because this is me as a judge. I don't like judges that are typing, or on media people that are typing because they're not watching. Or same with judges that look down for a minute.
Judges can't be looking.
Well, judges look.
See, we need to fix that. We need to fix that. Eyes on the fight that you're doing.
Yeah, let's just say he's watching the fight, and that half a second that he goes to look at the camera,
There's a leg.
there's something that's hit, something that's, and you don't see it.
Let's fix it.
Here's another thing.
Fix it.
You know,
You should
okay,
fix- you guys should
I'm
fix
on it.
Why don't you fix it?
Clay Guida, I talk about this all the time, and that's why they started to cornroll their hair. Clay Guida had that monster hair, kind of like this guy here.
Yeah, okay.
So a punch would get thrown, it never would land, and he would like go back with his head, and sweat would fall off his hair. And judges are like, "Oh, he got hit."
Big shot.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it covered up like some swelling
No, I just said
because of how thick his hair was. You couldn't even see that.
I always thought that about beards. You know, that beards could be padding. It's not. But,
Not a bad idea.
you know, build that out. You know, Kimbo style. You know, where it kind of is like squeezing
Yeah, makes sense. Been doing it a long time. You were in the Navy, sir?
I was.
Thank you, sir.
Second greatest decision I ever made was going in the military.
First?
Meeting my wife and marrying her.
That's good.
So
Are
I would
those
be.
synonymous with each other or no?
Yeah, everything's awesome. You know, it's
40 years.
if we talked about getting married 2 weeks after we met when I was in the Navy. You know, I was getting ready to deploy, and we've been married 40 years, 2 kids. Yeah, everything is good.
Well,
What's
thanks
up?
for your service and congratulations.
No, I appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
I'm
And
going
you
on
too,
record.
Mr. Pizza
You're
Industry.
the coolest interview I've ever done. You're by far my favorite of all, and I'm going to promote everything you do.
Don't promote my stuff.
I
I'll talk about it.
No. We need
I'll talk
nobody.
about it.
We need less people to know.
I'll talk about the house. I'll let them do it.
Yeah, you have to have
They've
kicker
been doing
set.
it. They've been doing it 10 years.
Yeah, let the kicker do that one.
in closing, I hate when he fans out and tools out and all that because
I appreciate it.
he's not a professional or anything. This was an honor to, you know, I know a lot about you. When he said you're coming, I go, no, you're not.
Man,
And
thank you. You guys are
very
too
much for your
kind.
time. I appreciate
Thank you for your
that.
service,
Yes,
man,
sir.
to the sport and to the United States of America.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good
You a good
weekend.
swimmer?
I can swim.
So did you swim in high school?
No, not, you know, I swam, but not on a team. No.
Every time I watch, I get those documentaries about like the training camps for each career to get in.
Yeah.
I quit. Every one of them.
What's the TV show that we've been talking about?
The tough one? They're competing against each other.
Well, no, it's all the celebrities. Dwight Howard's on.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Well, I think I'm very open with saying I am not tough enough to complete that whole thing.
Right.
Special forces.
Do a lot with the military. I do a lot. I have done. Very appreciative. Have family, friends that are in the military. Have massive amount of respect. I ain't got it. I ain't the one. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
If we need somebody for the country to survive, maybe give me a call after you've called some other people.
right.
But just the mindset of being able to sign up and be like, "Yep, I'm willing. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do it. I'll do it." And then to get through like hell, to earn the opportunity to do it through training camp and boot camp and everything, like, I don't have it. I got massive respect for everybody.
Watching that one show, and it's a show, it's not really going in the military, but watching the change in Dwight Howard, I mean, you should see it. Because, you know, people think of Dwight Howard differently. You know, he's not enjoying it, or that he's enjoying it and it's not taking serious. And you're watching, they're changing his personality on the show.
That's amazing. I think a lot of military could change the world,
absolutely.
especially in the world we're living in right now.
I agree with you 100%.
Hopefully it'll continue to grow, and thank you to badasses like you for serving, and you, sir. Hey, you're going to get me in shape? It's cool. I'm eating pizza.
We appreciate your time. We're going to get your address if that's okay. We want to send you a care package from 8 Man Strong, which is my title sponsor sitting right there.
Oh, yeah, you're 8-man?
Yes, sir. And we will hook you up with anything and everything that you and your whole team.
8-man Strong? What is 8-man Strong? Barrel line.
Companies, UFC, powerlifting.
This is you?
It's all motivation.
That's me, man.
Yeah, it's him.
Looks good, dude. So you meatheads look awesome. It's amazing. It's a great name. Hell yeah.
All right, let's go
Thank you guys for
hit a
having
break. Thank you very much, Pat. All right, we're out for now.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.